been hustling.
I've been hustling. Every day I've been hustling, baby.
Every day I've been hustling.
I've been hustling. Every day I've been hustling, baby.
Every day I've been hustling.
I've been hustling. Every day I've been hustling, baby.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Miss Georgia, the biggest hustler, and thank you for tuning in to the Hustling with Miss Georgia podcast. Today we got the sublets here with us, and we gonna let y'all know they here for the Steel Horse Awards. So we very grateful to have them come through today and let us in on the journey and everything I got going on today. So how are y'all today?
I'm doing well. You okay, baby?
I'm good. Good. And let the people know your names here if you can introduce yourselves.
Well, my name is Candace Sublet, and I am the founder and executive director of the Texas All Female Ride Incorporated, and we have a division called the Sisters Beyond Rags Foundation, which is the women's development, leadership development piece of our organization.
And I am Aqua Sublet. I am the chair of both of those organizations. So, yeah.
And pretty much tell us a little bit about Steel Horse, about your organization. Where did that hustle start for you?
So originally we started with the Texas All Female Ride, which was a 2-day event where women would come together, raise money for the community. And as the years progressed, we learned that would not always bring women together. And there's just certain disparities, issues that we have going on in our personal lives that you can't always attend an event. So we decided to add in the Sisters Beyond Rags Foundation piece, which is focusing on that women's development, that leadership development, to either put money in someone's pocket to provide them encouragement while they're out riding, or those women in motorcycling who do not ride specifically. But we wanted to be able to give back to us, and so that's why we started the Sisters Beyond Rags Foundation. We raise money for benevolence, like if there's issues going on in your personal life that you can't get out and move around, but as well if you want to build up your career, build up your business, if you are connected with a woman in motorcycling, if your dad is a biker from way back, if you are in the industry working at one of the dealerships, we want to be able to help women discreetly without receiving any reward back, and that is our goal. So with the Steel Horse Awards, that is a segment of the many things we do to provide that women's development, that encouragement. So instead of it being something we choose for women, like, oh, these are our friends, these are people we know, they've done a great job, we actually leave it in the hands of the community. And so in the community, they nominate who they want, and then once after the nomination process is over, then everybody gets to vote. There are 2 categories for men: Phileo of the Year and Phileos of the Year. And so that's brotherly love. And so we have brothers that take care of us, protect us. They come to these all-female rides, and they hang out with each other in the background. They help us, they make sure some of the wives get there, but those 2 categories is where we wrap our arms around them in. But any of our events are purely ran by women, hosted by women, making sure that these women in our community are continuing to be built up. So the Steel Horse Awards is all people's choice. And so we're here in Biloxi this weekend. One of our board members, Gwen Mays, invited us down to Mississippi. It is a beautiful weekend. I've gotten to see the beach already, so we woke up to the beach. So that was absolutely lovely. But I'm looking forward to being with the ladies tomorrow evening. Tonight we have a meet and greet, but the award show tomorrow, and to dress up and not always wear our boots, and not always come with the exhaust on us, all the leather and the mask, the scarves, but to be elegant and have a good time and to lean into our femininity, no matter what that looks like for any of us. So that is the whole point of the Steel Horse Awards, to honor women in motorcycling
and raise money for the Compassion Program.
And raise money for the Compassion Program. And actually the Compassion Program is if women get sick.
And the benevolence.
And the benevolence is like utility assistance. But the compassion is, a lot of women pass away. on motorcycles. And so being able to donate to their families in not as maybe a substantial way, but just something to let them know, like, hey, you know, we understand. And really we try to do it after. That way, you know, it's after, you know, things have settled down, after the funeral, after everybody goes back home, like, you know, here's a donation, maybe they need that for some food, or, you know, everything. You just never know in those very sudden death types of situations. But we've had women pass away at their anniversary parties in their clubs. We had a woman a couple years ago who had a heart attack. Like, there's just different health things we don't pay attention to. We come out, we party, we ride bikes, we hang out, we have a good time when we go home. But we're going home, you know, some of us are health concerns that we can't talk about. Like, it's so overwhelming, and you just need to come out and kick it. And you know, you don't need nobody talking to you crazy. You don't need to be into it. You're just trying to deal with what you can deal with. And so just providing a discreet way of funding, just to help mitigate some of the stress, that's what we do. That's why we're here.
And that's amazing. It's amazing. It's so many things, so many questions, of course, I have. I try to write them in order to go back. But I want to ask first, did you guys started this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And
it has turned into...
Yes. So originally it was, you know, we need to do something in the community, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, ooh, our community. Like, we need to take care of each other. So yes, ma'am, that's where we are.
When did you start this?
So we founded in 2018. We didn't have an actual fundraiser until 2019. It took about a year. We wanted to go move around, see what other people had going on, invite women to come from the different places, but as well, we needed to learn how to put an event together. And so we were able to do that for about a year. I was riding all over the place, just, you know, meeting and greeting. And then it took us a few years, and then COVID came and, you know, built more unity amongst the ladies. And we had this big event in St. Louis, the All-Female Unity Ride. And then things started to taper off, and it got quiet. And that's when I realized there has to be something going on. Women were losing jobs. We lost our jobs. We still kept going. We still did the business through it all, but we lost our jobs. We lost our house. We were homeless for a short period of time. We were able to lean on people that really cared about who we were. And during that time, I was so angry and so upset and so and she just kept reminding me, like, you have to remember other people are going through this too. It's not just us. At least we don't have children, as of yet. So that made it easier on us, but we were able to, that's when I realized, oh, if everybody's going through this, what were they going through before COVID?
Exactly.
When we just out kicking it, they got an attitude. Sissy has an attitude, not because she wants to be rude to me. Sis got an attitude because of insides her. And she's not gonna tell me that. So that's what made me look back, like, before 2020, these issues had to have been going on. So since 2020, now I need to figure out, like, how can we address it but still be discreet? And so that's what we're doing.
And to be very clear for the people, is the name of your organization Steel Horse?
It's Steel Horse? No. The name of our organization is the Texas All Female Ride Incorporated.
Okay.
The Steel Horse Awards is a piece of what we do, as in one of our events that we raise money for. And so we make sure the Steel Horse Awards is focused on people's choice, is focused on the women in our community, and then from there we just, we're providing a platform. That's all it is. We're the vessel. Come, ladies, come honor yourselves, come, enjoy yourselves. Here's an award. Have a good time, get some good drinks, some good food, and go home. And be pretty. At the same time.
Do you guys ride?
Yes, we do. We both do. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know much about bikes, but tell us what kind of bike do you ride?
Well, I had a Softail Slim, a Harley. It was a 2015. So I haven't had it for about a year and a half now. I'm looking for my next, because I want to go a little bit bigger. You know, people getting misconstrued that short people cannot ride, and I want to say for the record that I am 4'11", and I can tear down a highway on a motorcycle with no issue.
Woo, them curves, she got them curves. Woo. I'm wobbling through them now. She
I'm
lean.
making it in the car.
I understand.
Okay. I mean, that's really it's brilliant, and I'm curious to know, did it all start from a personal reason that you came up with this idea, other than you ride and you want to support other women, or have you pretty much, I'm asking, have you always been into bikes?
Yes.
Was your family into bikes?
Yeah, so my father rides.
Okay.
And so my uncle also used to ride. He obviously is retired. He's in his 70s now. But I remember being 5 years old. And then I look back now and I say this all the time, and I know my parents are like, oh my gosh. I didn't realize that they were going through a separation at the time. And so we spent a lot of time at our grandparents' house. And I remember after church, they going over to take us to my mother was taking me to the grandparents' house, and we stopped by an old school clubhouse, and it was gravel and dirt, and I thought they were like super big bikes, but they were not big like the ones are now. But it was like, I just couldn't believe it. And I would hear them, the bikes, rear up, or they'd come, and I remember we probably weren't even supposed to be in the clubhouse, and we went into the clubhouse, and I remember it was guys just sitting around chilling. It was like they were in their element, but they were just relaxed. And that's why I was like, you know what, I want to be a biker when I grow up. And I didn't think I'd ever ride a bike because I'm scary of different things. Like, I don't like the mountains. I ain't gonna lie to you. I rode through them, but the whole time I'm like shaking. I don't like all the water around me, but I love the open road. And so I think it was about, I told myself I wasn't gonna do it until I was mature enough. And so my dad, he paid my last student loan off, and I was 29, he went and bought a bike. And so maybe the next year I went, I rode with him. I went to hang out with him in the motorcycle, what we call the motorcycle set. I went to hang out with him on the motorcycle set, and I've been on for 12 years.
And that's what I was asking. I'm sure family. It was something that definitely started the journey.
My daddy. Everybody know my daddy.
Okay. And what about you?
Well, my uncle used to ride, but I was never really around it, and I was terrified of motorcycles. I didn't start riding until 2019, and that was after I had met her, and she got me really comfortable with riding on the back of a motorcycle and just kind of understanding, like, you ride your own ride. Just because other people ride it crazy, you don't have to do that. You just got to get to where you're going. And so that made me comfortable enough to want to take the class and be able to ride on my own. And so that's how I got into it. But just being able to go around people and be yourself. You can go and you can talk if you want to. You can not talk if you want to. You can just hang out. You can, there were so many different things, and people who came together who had a bond loving the same thing. And it really gives a sense of community and family, and that's something that I really missed. Like, I was lacking in my life. So being able to have that, it really did something for me. So being able to give back to these ladies and love on them a little bit and let them know that we are sisters, we are family, we're here to support one another. Like, that's what drives me and makes me happy. Just being able to come together at different events and hug a person that you haven't seen in a while, or catch up with them because you haven't seen them in a while, but you might be friends on Facebook. You see their kids on Facebook, and now you feel like you know them because you see their kids grow up on Facebook. So just being able to, it's like a family reunion every time we come together. And it's so sad that every time we come together there's a person that's missing, or there's a person that's died, or there's a person that's fell off, or a person that's going through something that feels like they can't say, hey, I'm going through this, I need this, can you help me with this? So we're here to fill that gap. And so that's really where the Sisters Beyond Rags piece came in 2022. We were like, how do we fill that gap? How do we make something to let other ladies know that we are here to help them in a time when they need it? So that's where that came from.
without all the drama, without somebody running your business out in the streets. Like, we want to help each other.
About how many people would you say is a part of the organization right now?
A part, so we have board members that are a part, so it's about 6 of us, well, 6 of them, and then me included. I'm the executive director. And then honestly, we don't have members per se as a part of our organization. It's more so, if you needed something, hit us up. Yeah, we'll figure out what we can figure out in that situation, and then
so pretty much
it's like an assistance program, literally. Exactly. It's like an assistance program. Yeah.
Yes, any woman in motorcycling. You type up a letter in the dealership. You don't even. You're not even selling bikes. You typing, doing whatever.
You selling T-shirts.
Yeah, you in the moto clothes. We got you, sis. No matter what's going on in your life.
And I don't know if people know how important or how needed that is.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And it's great. I'm a person that feel like everything happens for a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're here today on
March 8th, International Women's Day. I'm so excited about
advocating
for women.
For women.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes.
Every day.
Which you don't see a lot of anymore.
Really? You don't think so?
I don't think enough.
Okay.
I feel like we can do much better.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, if you just think about, like, yeah, we have rights, but everyone still look at women a certain way. That's my opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not gonna take it too deep,
but it's real. That's real.
I feel like people are still expecting the same thing from women.
Yes.
Or put us all in certain categories. You got women like, you said women
pitting us against each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll say this. I feel like we don't have enough. We probably do have a lot of groups and communities advocating for women, but not actually bringing them together. Like,
Agreed. And see, within the sector we are in, there's lots of all-female ride organizations, not just clubs or social clubs or riding clubs or motorcycle clubs, but actual organizations that do exactly what we do. Come in for a weekend, have a unity ride, go home. I think we're up to like 15 maybe. Like, we have this long calendar, and that is my overall goal. Like, when I first started, when that year I was going to the different ones and getting to know, what I never was going to get caught up in was having an attitude with anybody. During that time I was going through my own stuff, but it didn't benefit us. It didn't benefit women in motorcycling. I came to learn, to glean, to enjoy, to relax, to have a spa day with some ladies, to cackle, to have some drinks. Like, I remember one of the first rides I went to, one of the ladies, OG lady, and I was like, ooh, where'd you get that drink from? She said, baby, I pulled up with this in my saddlebag. I didn't even know. Like, I was just expecting to get to the hotel, get a drink, and they didn't have none. And so it was like, okay, just small things like that. I was sitting out there eating crab legs, butter all over my face, and we having a good time. And that's why bringing women together, yes, we are always going to bring women together. That's why we did the all-female unity ride. Right. Like, we're always going to bring women together, no matter if we like them or not. I tell people all the time, well, sis, we cannot like you, but you still get to benefit.
Look at that.
Period.
But even still, like, I, as the chair, I wanted to make sure that something happened beyond just the weekend ride and coming together. Like, at the end of the day, when you go back home tomorrow, them same problems you left on Friday are going to be there when you get back.
Exactly.
So how can we help you with them problems you got at home? Because coming together and having a great time in the moment and getting to laugh and cry and enjoy one another is great. It's a great release. It's a great getaway. But when you get back home and you still got to face some problems, you're still going to need help.
Exactly.
A whole bunch of help.
Right. And something we don't talk about a lot. People try, not even just women, but people, we tuck things in.
Yes, we do.
So having organizations and groups and friends and a family that supports you and know, like, hey, what you're going through, someone else close is going through it as well. Because I feel like as humans, we forget that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we forget that we're all human.
Or people get caught up and want to talk about one another, or talk about what another person's going through, and we're not here to judge you. We're not here to make you feel bad. We're here to come together and figure out how can we fix it.
Yeah, and then move on.
Exactly.
And not tell the world unless you want the world to know.
Right, that's
we
your
all
business.
got problems.
You know,
Everybody. It might be a little different.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it may be different timing.
That too.
Exactly. But and I, like I said, I think that it's amazing. It's amazing. So one more question, because we're talking about right now advocating for women. How would you describe being a woman in the present world right now?
ooh, I would describe it as almost invisible. It's like we make so much headway and we make so much noise, and we have our own businesses. We have these great ideas.
Yeah,
we come together and we do great things, but at the end of the day, we're never heard. People don't listen to us. We could say something and people would completely ignore it and let a man say the same thing, and it's like they didn't come up with the greatest idea. And it's just like, no matter how hard we fuss, fight, yell, you know what I'm saying, do what we do, like it's like we're just like in an invisible space. And it sucks. Because at the end of the day, we're humans. We're able-minded people who are not just here to rely on somebody to do something for us. We're not here to just be in the kitchen and having babies. You know what I'm saying? We're here to build empires, because at the end of the day, nothing that a man puts together will ever run without a woman behind it.
That's the truth.
So why do we always have to be behind it?
Yeah. And not,
front.
Neck and neck.
And I'm not saying that I expect to get all the recognition and the whatevers, but give me my props where my props are due.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's funny because I used to, when we first started talking about the Sisters Beyond Rags part, it was always, well, we're in a misogynistic environment. So, and then I thought about it, the world is a misogynistic environment. I think that hit me about a month or two ago. How do I feel about being a woman right now? I feel blessed. And the only reason I feel blessed, I can honestly say, is because I've gone through enough bumps and bruises that I have learned how to just put myself where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm always amazed when it's received well. Like I've been getting just in, my business life, because even beyond the Steel Horse Awards, even beyond motorcycling, even beyond the motorcycle set, we have to remember this is still a business. Just because it's a nonprofit, it's a business. And so I have to conduct myself in a business way now. So that's becoming a part of the Chamber of Commerce. That's getting out and going to dealerships and just being a part of the Hog chapter events, and just connecting with community members, whether it's in motorcycling or not. Like we went to a nonprofit resource fair with the Chamber of Commerce, and one of the ladies, her husband built a bike, and so she rides on the back, so she's able to receive whatever she can from us, just because of her connection through her husband. And so I'm able to be in places in business that I never would have saw myself in. Like I couldn't, like I would think it, I would dream it, ooh, that could be me one day. But like I'm starting to walk into that. And it is the misogyny, it is the BS. I hear the disgruntlements from different women in the community, and not even motorcycling, just overall community. And I'm asking questions, well, why, how many women are in corporate, positions? How many women? And they're like, oh, well, not very many. Okay. So what do we need to do, sis, to get you to the point where you can be in that space? So I'm grateful that I'm finally here, in a more positive mindset, to realize I'm thankful for every opportunity I'm able to get now. There could be more. Yes, there will be more. And it will come with better pay. But until then, I'm still going to keep sliding in and doing what I can do no matter what.
Exactly. Just like that. Just like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like that. To be able to see ahead.
Yes.
When we can easily be so trapped in the past.
Ooh, yes.
It's a blessing.
It is.
Hearing you say pretty much, I dreamed it before.
I did.
And we've all, I feel like, been to that place, especially as women. We go through so many different things, you know. You're being a woman, a mom, a sister, etc. So exactly. So it goes on, and it's like we can get trapped in those certain places of forgetting how to get to our goal.
Yes, ma'am.
And so being able to say, I was here before, but now I'm on the way here and in progress to where I want to be.
Yes.
It shines light to show everybody else that it's possible.
It is. And it's wild. This morning I received a text message from my sister, and she was like, you know, as I'm in a leadership development program, and she was like, well, how's it going? She said, are you still on track with your training? And I'm like, well, which one? Because I've applied for like 3 trainings in the last month. So I'm like, well, which one is she talking about? And I don't know if I told her about the ones I had applied for. And she's like, well, the one that ends in April. I said, oh yeah, I'm on track. I said, I go next Thursday. So I was like, that's the last one, next Thursday, and then I graduate in April. And she's like, okay, good, because what she knows about me is I used to let feelings and emotions and not being able to push past the misogyny to make me feel defeated. And so I would go 2-3 times, and by the 3rd time I would never finish anything. And so that's what her asking me this morning reminded me that she knows me, and she is happy that I'm in a different place and my mindset is different, and I can be more positive, not for everyone else but for myself.
Exactly.
Because I'm positive for everybody else. You got this, and I'm over here like, no, what do I got?
And it goes hand in hand.
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you're not positive with yourself,
yes,
you
ma'am.
can't be positive for everyone.
And I realized that like it was a deficit to other people, because I'm telling you, but I ain't believing it. So yeah, it was really a deficit.
Yeah.
But I appreciate. Because we've had struggles as sisters. So I'm out here in this motorcycle community trying to sisterhood, and I'm still struggling with my own sister, and just understanding who we are 2 different people. But she got my back because she asked me, was I still on track?
And being a sister, I completely understand. I'm an older sister. Me and my sister are 10 years apart.
Oh, honey.
Okay, and I mean, I completely understand. I completely understand.
I'm the baby.
But
I already know. So
I'm an older sister too. So.
I'm not even gonna say nothing.
I'm about to say, because the older sister, I already know where you coming. I already know. I feel you. You coming for us.
But to know.
Yes, I feel you.
Still sit here and say, you know, I love my sister, and you recognizing that. You're still wanting to build that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with your sister.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But like I said, as a sister, I completely understand. Not as a little sister. But I'm glad y'all got some sense. So
oh yeah, it takes time.
That's probably what she
It takes time. That's exactly
That's how we feel.
That's exactly what that text message was. Like, you got it together yet? I got it together.
Okay.
It's sticking.
I asked you the question of what it's like being a woman in the present world right now, and we can keep it short and simple. But I just want to know: do you think that's the same as being a Black woman in the present world? Right
That's a whole added complication to just being a woman, because we already have so many things against us, and still even just trying to not only convince ourselves and the women in our community that we need to come together and we need to, you know, support one another and keep each other encouraged. On the other side of the track, we're still having to do that with the other ethnicities and other races as well. Like, we're still women at the end of the day, whether we white, black, green, or purple. We bleed the same. We have the same internal issues. We some of us can bear children, some of us can't. Some of us be at home with men hitting us upside the head. Some of us have suicidal thoughts. Some of us are the breadwinners, and some of us, you know what I'm saying? We all have the same things regardless of what color we are. And so I think as a Black woman, because so many people already feel a certain type of way, that it's like an added hurdle that shouldn't even be there, especially in a community of women. Regardless, like, that hurdle shouldn't even be there,
right?
And I think it just makes it a little harder, that in my opinion.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like I'm in like a different place in the last 2 months.
Okay.
Like different than I have been for 40-something years.
Okay.
So when it comes to other races, and let me just say specifically white, I'm accepted in some way. Like just being able to sit down at the table, like I've taken on some community leadership responsibilities, and they want to hear what I have to say. Like my whole leadership thing, like Candace gonna come in here, she gonna be quiet, she not gonna, you gonna do what you do, they looking at me by the second session like, Candace, what do you think? Wait, like hold on, and this has been 6 months, and so I'm just really getting into it now, and to be able to have, and you know, in Texas, like I never thought that it would be open space, safe space to talk to other white women about the things that they're disgruntled about. And for me to openly say, wow, I didn't think y'all would be open like that. I know black people feel a certain way, but you're feeling a certain way too, and you're honest with me about it, and you want me to be a part of your group. Like I'm accepted. Like that really, like I said, it took me about 6-7 months to really believe it. And so now they're like, no, sis, come on, you need board members, we got you. Oh wow, you got me. Like you know what I'm doing is important and helping other women, and I guess it's because I'm not asking them for anything, right? But a seat at the table, and they like, here's a chair.
I think we've hit a point in life in general where the generations that were disgruntled and wanted to keep people behind and not allow certain peoples to progress, I believe they're dying off. So then you're getting the generations after them who want to be more inclusive and want to make sure that people have seats at the table. They want to hear what other people have to say. They're stepping up. So there's a current battle now, as you can see in the world of politics, between the people who want to be more inclusive and allow more things and the people who want to keep it how it was. Several decades, you know what I'm saying, centuries ago. And so it's interesting to see how it's playing out, and it's like no matter how hard you try to stop it, it's still going to happen, because all of your people are going to be gone one day. And all of the people who are wanting more inclusivity and more openness, they're going to continue to be born and continue to be able to speak up and speak out and step into those places to allow other people to come with them. So it's interesting to see that that's where the shift is right now. And it's really great to see that there are more people now than before that are openly inclusive.
And I will honestly say, I think TikTok did it. I know TikTok really schooled me on the amount of other ethnicities and races that don't care about racism. Like everybody's mixed up. I don't even know if I know about too many African American relationships really outside of, well, no, because even in motorcycling, it's very inclusive, very diverse.
Are people like 100% anything anymore?
No.
Let's be realistic.
No.
You got a little something in you, some word
a little
from
Native
somebody,
American, you know, a little Irish.
If you know or not.
Right.
Whether you choose to look into it or not, I guarantee you're not 100% anything.
No, definitely can't be.
How do you guys keep up with the consistency of running and operating? Because you still have your day-to-day life. You still have your day-to-day things that you are going to go through and experience. And being someone as well we're entrepreneurs, having to get up and we still hitting with the everyday life. What are things that motivate you, or how do you stay consistent on a journey?
This is gonna be wild when I say this. Let me just say dirty fingernails. And when we were going through the changes, you know, with being homeless and not always having access to food, not always having access to money, not always having access to a shower, reminding myself that I don't want dirty fingernails anymore makes me keep going. The only thing that probably really got us through all of that were our businesses. Was this or this nonprofit and her for-profit. And just waking up every day and I'm like, God, is this ever gonna change? And then going through the motions and then going back to sleep somewhere. We didn't know where, whether it was gonna be the car, a storage unit, you know, somebody's couch. But waking up looking at my nails and I'm like, this didn't used to be me, and this can't be me forever. And the only thing I had to hold on to was motorcycling. Like my wife, she I don't know how she ain't crazy now, because she definitely kept my spirits up. And I'm like, bro, we got dirty fingernails. Like, we got to figure out, you know. And so I see people panning. We never got to the panhandling stage. We just kept gritting. We kept cooking. We kept, you know, doing what we could. She kept, you know, pushing her network. But really just remembering, you gonna wake up today and you're gonna have clean fingernails. And you're gonna get out here, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and you're gonna go home tomorrow. And guess what? Tomorrow is gonna be whatever you face, and tomorrow you're gonna wake up, you're gonna take a shower, and you're gonna have clean fingernails. I know that seems so simple, but dirty fingernails is what keeps me going, because if not, I could be out here crazy. I could be on drugs. I could be an alcoholic. I could let people take advantage of me. And that's what I'm encouraging women to get out of the mindset of that. So if it takes dirty fingernails to remind me every day that you're going to get out here and you're going to hustle for these ladies on motorcycling, you're going to get out here and you're going to encourage your wife and make sure she has what she needs for her network, then that's what I'm going to have to think about every darn day.
Exactly. Right. This the hustling.
Yes,
this what we talking about. It's so many women out there who need to hear that. And like I said, definitely meant to be, especially being in today, being a day like this, is like, not only are we getting out inspiration.
Yes, ma'am.
But advice, knowledge.
Yeah.
You know,
we had a lot of women imparting to us.
Exactly. What would you say being on this journey has been the most important lesson?
The most important lesson I have learned is that if I can't count on anyone else, I can count on myself.
Yeah.
In moments where I was unsure if even I would show up for me, being a business owner, being the chair of a nonprofit organization, like, I have a duty and an obligation to show up for everyone else. That doesn't necessarily always mean that I'm going to show up for myself.
Exactly.
So being in those positions, I have learned that I can't show up for anyone else if I can't show up for me. And I can't always rely on someone else to show up for me in those moments where I can't be present. So that has been the most important thing that I've learned. And through that, it has made me realize that I can do anything that I set my mind to, as long as I'm consistent, and as long as I'm, you know, honest, and I have drive, and I'm inspired, and I continue to go for the things that I want, and not when someone's telling me that I want or what I should want. It definitely has made a difference.
I think I've learned in this process just to be an encourager of her. When and I think people always think, oh, you're encouraging, but when you tell someone something honestly, and it may hurt, and it may not be what they want to hear, but it's what they need to hear to understand, like, hey, the organization is affected by this. Hey, your MTS network needs some time on the calendar. Like, we want to do motorcycle stuff. We need to be at film festivals. And I remember telling someone, like, yeah, community, politics, motorcycling, that's my thing. But when it comes to the arts and film and all that, that's her thing. Marketing, video editing, that's what she does. And so I do my thing, she does theirs. And they were so astonished that I would make space for my wife to do what she needs to do. Do I want a miserable wife that's only doing my thing? Heck no, that is so silly. She has so much to give. And so just learning how to continue to make space for her and her talents, that's what I've learned, and it that also keeps me going every day. But that's really what I've learned, to make sure I keep making space for what she wants to do.
Exactly. And that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very beautiful. If you could have, because I don't want to say overall goal, you answered that already, but if you could have, if you guys could have one thing, whether it's more promotion or more exposure or more community support towards your organization, what is it that you're looking for?
Sponsorships.
Okay.
Let me be real clear. We are looking for major sponsors. We are done small changing this. We are done shortchanging ourselves. We are done making pennies, like dimes out of pennies. No, making 20s and 30s and 20s and 50s and $100 bills now. So major sponsors is what we're looking for, but not only for us, but for the other all-female motorcycle organizations. Access, making sure we have access to those major sponsors. That's what I'm looking for.
Of course. And that's why I asked.
Yes.
Because it's coming.
It's here.
No, it's coming. It's here.
Yes,
it's here.
I
It's
feel
here.
the energy.
So, for the Steel Horse Awards, how would people nominate? How would you?
So the nomination process for 2025 will actually probably start in September, maybe even October. It just depends on the timing. And so because now the Steel Horse Awards will no longer be in March in Women's History Month, we are actually going to roll it into our Texas All-Female Rally.
Okay.
Which we are putting together an all-female rally. And so we have the rally this year in October, and then the Steel Horse Awards nomination will probably go from October up until maybe end of January, and then after that they will vote from probably February up and through, I think we're going to give them 3 months this time to vote. And then from there, we're going to let award nominees know, and then they'll be at the award ceremony in October 25. So that's how and they can nominate. We'll have a link on our website. We'll send it out on social media, and people, I think we didn't do a promoted ad this time. We just let it take wildfire. Like the moment somebody saw that they could get nominated, and I did a few lives, like it spread like wildfire, and a lot of people missed it, and so they're like, "Oh, how can I nominate now? How can I get?" Yep, this is how.
And so those who nominated or voted this year, they will actually receive emails, because we now have that information where we can reach out to you and let you know, hey, nominations is rolling around.
Right,
you know what I mean? So that's one of the great things, that the way that we set up our nominations, we can now let people know going forward when that process starts. Because a lot of people are like, well, we didn't know about it. Well, if you've nominated and or voted in the last 2 years, you will be able to be notified
this time. Okay. We're growing. That's that love for growing. We're getting better.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And for anyone out there who wanted to connect with you guys, keep up with the events. Make sure they are on point with everything that the organization has going on. Where would you direct them? How can they find, other than the website?
I'm gonna give you everything.
Go ahead.
So you can call me directly at 682-978-6360. I am best reached via text message. You can as well find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at the THESBRF as in Frank. As well, you can go to our website, thesbrf.org or txafr.org.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So call me. You can email us as well, info@thesbrf.org or txallfemaleride@gmail.com. So we have multiple ways you can reach us. We are learning that there are messages you can send on the website that we can respond to.
Okay.
So y'all can reach us, but definitely text message is probably the most direct.
Okay. And I will make sure I put in the description everything. Thank so you guys can stay connected. Of course. If you guys could give any advice to any women out there who want to get up and start their journey, what would it be?
You just have to do it. regardless if you feel like several people are already doing something, it's not going to be the same because it's you.
Yeah.
And your story and your journey and the reason that you're doing something is not going to be the same as the next person. And on the flip side, if you feel like no one is doing it and you don't know who to look at as an example or where to go, because that's me with my for-profit business, you still just have to do it. It'll perfect itself over time. You'll learn things, you'll meet people along the way, but you just have to start. Don't try to have the best equipment or the best this or that or the best website or any of that stuff, because that comes with growth and progress. The consistency will get you there.
Exactly.
You just have to start.
Exactly.
Yes. The best advice I would give, they say businesses only last 5 to 10 years. They're going to fall off. Look for year 11. In everything you do, it could be 2023, you start your business, you a year in, nothing's working. Look for 2034, that's 11 years. What you gonna do in 2034? I watched a woman, 16 years of being a realtor, receive an award in front of 500 people, had a table, because we can't afford tables at events yet. Like, we trying to get there, but we're not there yet. But 16 years she put in to this she's a realtor, into her business. And she received not only one, but she received an award for an event I went to last week. She's in year 16. So that tells me, okay, in year 11, like, you make it to 11, you got this. And I think the thing that people fail to realize is it may be a year or two that things are quiet, that is low. But you keep chucking, you keep sending. Every motorcycle ride I have come back from, it was like it helped me come back with a master plan. And then half of that stuff didn't work, and then I would come back from the next ride and I have another master plan. And so, like I said, look for year 11. Year 11, that means you beat all the odds. That means when stuff fell off for 2-3 years, you didn't stop. Because, like, I know people that put it to the side and they never go mess with it again. No, it's okay. 2-3 years is dry. You got to go pick up another couple of jobs to keep it going. But look for year 11. That's when you know you done made it. Exactly. We in year 7. I got 4 more to go. And we took 2 or 3 years and it was rough and we didn't know what we was doing. So I'm looking 4 years from now where we gonna be. A year 11.
Exactly.
So what are we in, 2024?
Yeah.
So 2035 will be year 11 of this podcast.
And only imagine where we gotta run it back.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna run it back.
We're gonna run it back.
To show y'all.
Year 11.
You will be able to see the difference.
Oh, yes,
in the growth.
Yes,
of
ma'am.
where consistency will keep it. And we're going to make sure we keep it just like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Just
Thank
like
you.
that. And I think pretty much, y'all, today we found out how you sisters hustle. It was great. I feel like just because of what you created, I feel like I'm a part of it.
Oh, you are. Thank you. Yeah, you did our podcast. So you connected.
You know us.
You know Gwen. So you need something,
and
you let us know.
And that's telling you right here. Like, you make, I'm sure anybody listening feels comfortable enough
Yes,
to
quiet.
say, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
So
and it may not come in the way that I understand. And it could be literally a pull up over a Friday night, and we back in Dallas on Saturday night at 8 p.m. It could be whatever it needs to be. It could be just, can you come pick me up and take me to somewhere safe? Okay.
I've had a couple of them calls.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
What is the address?
Yeah. And then I'm looking crazy coming out the house in sweats and like, okay, we're going somewhere. I don't even know what happened.
I have a young lady that reached out to me for my for-profit business, and she lives probably like an hour away from us, and I've never met her in person. We've only talked, we've talked on the phone a couple of times about some different things, but I know that she's a single mom with children. I know that she was going through some things with a guy she previously dated. So guess who has her location? Period. Because baby, if anything, I will be there. I don't care if we've never met before in real life. I will pull
I don't know who I'm looking for.
You know what I'm saying? I know what your picture look like. I know what your picture look like. You tell me you need me to come, I'm coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we have to be there for each other. That's the behind the scenes part.
Exactly.
That's the stuff that don't get on Facebook. Like my dad tells me all the time, you put too much on social media. Baby, only if you only knew. I won't put enough on social media, but it's not for other people to know about.
Exactly.
You know, and I think we ended up doing, what was that food drive back in December, and that's when she was like, I get it now. We go to these community events, we're supposed to bring it back to our people. Like we went and fed some homeless, we should have brought it back to the women in our community. So now that's what's like it's levels to it. Like, okay, we're gonna raise money for sis.
Exactly.
But no, we can show up to their parties.
Exactly.
But like there's a they're giving out, you know, kits, what is it, the hygiene kits. Like we need to be able to send a couple of hygiene kits to somebody's hygiene kit drive. Like different things. Like they're doing a fun burger fundraiser. We need to be able, we won't be there, we'll be out of town, but we need to be able to send funds to those different organizations just in support of what people are doing. But guess what? The same organizations we're sending funds to, somebody posts up one of their sisters died, we gonna pull up. That morning, that night, that whatever. And guess what?
We got to pull up at your job.
Baby, we're going to pull up to your house too. Baby, we got to go look here and there in the white pages to get to your house, to make sure you good, to make sure you safe, to make sure you don't find out detrimental, heartbreaking things on social media. We going 3 o'clock in the morning, baby, we there. And we going to do what we do, and then we going to go home and get up and go to work. That's the part right there for us. So thank you for this opportunity.
Yes. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing. We needed it. And you guys, thank you for tuning in today. Y'all already know it's Miss Georgia, the biggest hustler. Don't forget the miss, and keep tuning into the Hustle on Miss Georgia podcast.
Every day I've been hustling.
It was nice.
Bye.
Every day I've been hustling.
I've been hustling. Every day I've been hustling, baby.
Every day I've been hustling.
I've been hustling. Every day I've been hustling, baby.
Every day I've been hustling.
I've been hustling. Every day I've been hustling, baby.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Gotta get mine. I'm on the clock 7 days a week. Can't never waste time.